Buying a car could now burn a bigger hole in your pocket. Yes, you heard that right. Cars are about to get very expensive, and it's not just because of rising input costs this time, but a re-engineering that could cost automakers millions, if not billions of dollars. The India's Energy Efficiency and Conservation Energy Agency wants Indian car makers to cut carbon emission by a third over the next 3 years, in line with the European standards. The new rules could kick in with what is called corporate average fuel efficiency, or simply put, CAFÉ-IV norms. CAFÉ norms are applicable not only to a particular model or two for that matter. These standard measures emission on a much wider company level scale, where the entire vehicle sales by a car brand like Maruti or Tata Motors or Hyundai for that matter across all their models need to confirm a reduction in average emission. Currently, the Bureau of Energy Efficiency, or BEE, has proposed carbon emission targets of 91 grams of CO2 per kilometer for CAFÉ-III and 70 grams of CO2 per kilometer for CAFÉ-IV. This standard hasn't been made mandatory in India yet, and industry stakeholders have been invited to provide their feedback by early June or finalize guidelines. Chances are the new norms can be implemented by 2027. Okay, so what does this mean for you? Easy. Expect your car prices to skyrocket by as much as 30%, a steep rise since the introduction of Bharat Stage 6 emission norms back in April 2020. Car makers will now have to reduce carbon emissions to more efficient fuel consumptions for their entire fleet in just the next 3 years. And the cost of fine-tuning engines to deliver this mammoth task is sure to be passed on to the consumer. But the road ahead for the automakers is also a difficult one due to a short transition period for CAFÉ-IV norms if they are to be implemented by 2027. Product planning, development and investment cycles take much longer than 3 years, and here there's a full re-engineering required. Theoretically, even if you can make a low emission vehicle but not price it affordably, there are likely to be fewer takers. So the job for automakers is a tough one. Re-engineering and staying cost conscious, and government is strongly pushing for lower emission by forcing strict CAFÉ norms and promoting electric vehicles as the core of their clean transportation strategy. But then there is also confusion over hybrids and flex fuels, which again the industry is veering towards. The government needs to clarify its position on fossil fuels and electric vehicles, which again depends on coal-based thermal charging that will add back to emission, as well as other hybrid approaches including flex fuels, to make sure industry is aligned and moving in the same lane. This way, the ecosystem would be more efficiently built, and economies of scale will help keep costs low.